Mankind is of different natures. Some of us are of a priestly temperament. Some of us will like academic work, teaching work. Others may like farming work, agricultural work. Other men may like business. Some men just like to be employed as laborers. Others like government work. There are so many different types of work. In the Vedas, it is described in 4 classifications: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. But within those classifications, every man and woman fits within every classification there. Because either we're Brahmana, meaning a priestly class, or a teacher, or someone who imparts knowledge, education to others. Or Kshatriya, that means, in the broadest sense, some type of governmental work, whether one is king or whether one is a policeman on the street or doing something like this. But in any case, the idea is that whatever we do within this world, it should be done for the sake of service to the Supreme. We should do our work and to the best of our ability, and we should do it in the spirit of service to God. Therefore, Krishna says, you should fight. Don't consider your own personal happiness or distress, your own victory or defeat. That is all predetermined by the grace of God, what the outcome will be. We simply have to act in the spirit of service to the Lord. Then the outcome we will leave to God, hand it over to Him. Thy will be done as you like. That will be the outcome. We can only try our best. We can only do our best. That is all Krishna is saying. You fight, Arjuna, that is your duty. Try to give protection to the citizens. But do not become attached to the results of your work. Don't consider the happiness or distress, or the loss or the gain, or the victory or defeat. Just consider the idea of the karmic yoga principle. To fight for the sake of doing your duty. Dharma means doing your duty, doing your work for the sake of pleasing the Supreme. And in this way you shall never incur sin. Thus far I have declared to you the analytical knowledge of Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy means an analytical study of the nature of matter and spirit. So Krishna has discussed so far the nature of the body as being temporal and the nature of the soul as being eternal. He has also given us a little bit of information about the principles of karma yoga. Now Krishna says, listen to the knowledge of yoga whereby one works without fruitive results. When you act by such intelligence, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. Krishna says, now let me develop this concept that I've been discussing with you. The idea of working or doing your duty without becoming entangled within this world. There are different types of work. A man may act or work sinfully. That is against the will of God. Man may work in a way in which he may gain pious credits. So we know the terms karma, good karma, bad karma, according to the work you do. If you act in a negative way in which you harm other living beings or you harm yourself, negative results will come. That is bad karma, for you to hurt other living beings or hurt yourself. Good karma has come, and if you can help others, assist them in bettering themselves through education, through protection, however, financial gain, however you can help others, you'll gain. That is good karma comes by helping others. But there is a type of work which is even better than that which brings about good karma. That type of work is transcendental activity. It is activity which is solely dedicated for the pleasure of God. Such work brings what is called, this is a Sanskrit word, sukriti. Sukriti means piety which goes beyond the normal sense of mundane piety, which brings about good karmas. It is the result of directly pleasing God. And by such activities, which is technically called bhakti yoga, By pleasing or satisfying the Supreme Lord, one attains the Supreme Lord. One breaks the cycle of birth and death. The living being is bound within this world by his own works. And so sometimes the living being by good karmas will go up to the higher planets, which we call the heavenly realms, or down to the lower realms. This is described within the Vedas. There are different dimensions. Higher dimensions, lower dimensions. We're in the middle realm here. This material world is middle realm. But one can experience greater sense of happiness than can be even imagined upon this planet. And one can be subject to greater tormentation than can even be imagined upon this planet. We may see suffering here, but we cannot even imagine what the hells could be like. But their descriptions are there within the Vedas. And the heavens also go beyond our imagination. What is the enjoyment that the living being can have by attainment to the higher realms, by his own pious actions? But still, the Vedas ultimately encourage us to go beyond the material world. Because Krishna tells us later in Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma bhuvana loka punar avartina arjuna. Even to the highest, topmost realm, which is called the Brahmaloka, where the greatest sense of happiness can be experienced, he says all of them are temporal realms. That's the nature of this material world. This material world is all temporal. So wherever we go, and whatever situation we attain to, will ultimately come to an end. Ultimately, everything comes to an end in this world. Nothing is permanent. We may set up a good life for us within this world, but something will change. We may have a nice family, but something may change. Our financial stability may fade away. Our some unknown force, like a hurricane, may whisk away our house. One of our family members may pass away. You never know. Although we may be living comfortably within this life, everything can change in a moment. So we are warned not to become situated in complacency. The Vedas warn us like that. Don't become situated in complacency and think, now I've found my success, now I've found my happiness. Actually, it is the nature of the living being to strive for perfection. But unfortunately, we look for perfection within this world. But the Vedas set our goals a little higher, actually much higher, to the higher realms, the highest realm of God, to that attainment. So Krishna is going to now speak and develop the point of activity, but activity which brings the highest benefit, when it is work which is geared for sacrifice. That means sacrificing our work for the pleasure of God Himself. So let's hear how Krishna develops this thought here. Neha Vikrama Nashosti Pratyayavayo Navidyate Swalpam Apyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhayat. Krishna is now encouraging Arjuna that you should know that in this type of work, in this type of endeavor, there will be no loss or diminution on your part. And a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Everyone within the material world is fearful. This is one of the things that you can observe. Every man is needing foods, can't live without food. Every man is needing to eat. Every man is needing to sleep. Every man has a tendency towards reproduction. But he also has a fearing temperament. Therefore everyone is in anxiety. Eating, sleeping, mating, and fearing or defending. Trying to set up protective protection around us in whatever ways we do it, with fences, or keeping a gun in our home, or insurance policies. We're trying to protect our home, our safety, our well-being that we have worked so hard for. But because the world is full of changing elements, like we were talking, everything is temporal, then no matter what kind of walls we build around us or protective systems we have built around us, material energy will somehow or other disturb things, no doubt.